don't play with me. My life, my rules, my style, my attitude. You love me or hate me, I don't care. But don't play with me.
Okay.
Alright, here we are, pick it up!
Oh, did it start?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were...
We're doing it.
I thought you were still testing the audio levels.
Nope.
Oh, and there's Sesho.
I just had to set up the audio capture for the thingy. Anyways,
Sesho,
here we are.
you don't need to be over there, bud.
Vic and Hope. Turning my audio levels down because I'm always louder than I am in tests. So here we are. For the last 2 episodes, we had one where I was trying the noise gate with Streamlabs, and it sounds fucking horrendous. It sounds absolutely terrible. Hope's tapping the can. But then we tried another one where I was using the Game Capture HD software by Elgato, and it sounds okay, but the fucking shit just kept cutting out randomly, and it deceived us. And so now I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do about all these technical difficulties. So I bought a Scarlett 2i2, you know, it's what all the YouTubers use, it's what Trixie used to use back in the day, still uses. So it's a real audio recording thing. I got a second mic for Hope, if you want to chime in and introduce yourself.
I'm the second mic. What's up?
She cracked her monster.
I did. Hopefully you heard that up close. And Sesho barks.
I'm putting Hope's mic closer to her face because
it's
now
very close to my face.
Now it has to be close to her face because of the new setup. Sesho's losing his mind. We're watching Nate Michelle's dog again. He's losing his fucking shit.
Sesho!
But here we are. New Vic and Hope. Hopefully the audio sounds crisp and clean from this new audio setup investment we've made.
Are we gonna explain what we just played?
Oh, the TikTok thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
This is an Indian guy whose whole TikTok page is him doing little 10-second short films to that soundbite where he's doing Bollywood-esque action stunts, shooting down helicopters and fighting tigers and turning into werewolves. And it's really good.
And he says, my life, my rules,
my style, my attitude. You love me or hate me, I don't care. But don't play with me.
Amazing.
He's great. He's my hero.
Darling. He's an instant classic, instant hero. Here we are playing Bloodborne again.
Hey, wow.
You know, I haven't put out the last 2 episodes. I'm probably gonna do it in one day. But they're both about fucking Pokemon Arceus, and so now it's completely irrelevant, and everyone's moved on to
Well, yeah,
Elden
now that
Ring.
we've got Scarlet and Violet on the horizon, I doubt the Arceus meta will have much happening.
Because with the last ones, like, they were all fucked up, so I had to edit them. And I did edit them. I edited them weeks ago.
You just didn't post them.
I just haven't posted them. I think I uploaded one of them.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Did I upload it?
Didn't you upload one?
I don't know.
I lose track.
I thought I was uploading it after I did the thing, but maybe I never thumbnailed it. My brain hurts.
Yeah.
Now we're playing Bloodborne again.
It's bloop-doop time.
I gotta figure out where we're going.
How's it feel to be back in Bloodborne after playing Elden Ring for so many hours now?
It feels wonderful. I'm back. I'm now gonna sit here and fuck with Hope's audio levels all day. And
That's
mine,
fun.
because now I can see the actual green blinking light on the thing, so I know exactly like how loud we're being. It's wonderful. This is gonna be great.
This won't add another level of neurosis to Vic and Hope whatsoever.
There's lights. I hit there's one that says INT and another one that says air. I don't know what the fuck those mean, but I pressed them. I pressed the button. Oh yeah, we're fighting Rom.
Oh yeah,
The
the
vacuum
vacuum
spider.
spider. The vacuum spider.
We're doing the vacuum.
Rom the Hoover spider.
Rob the hover-round. Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to Vic and Hope. Do we got things to talk about? How do we do this? How do we do this?
How of all the enemies in Bloodborne, which one is the one that you kin?
Oh, are you doing like a top 10 fuckable
No,
Bloodborne
kin
enemies?
means that's me.
Oh,
Which one is
kin?
you?
I thought you said can, and then you were like
No,
dot
no,
dot
no.
dotting.
Which one do you kin? Which one are you the most similar to?
Oh, Bloodborne kin. You think this guy will help? Will he be helpful?
He helped you last time, right?
I'm
Didn't he
the
like
most-
whip ass last time?
Did he? I didn't summon this guy before.
He's helped us before, and he like kicked ass. I thought.
I don't think
Am
so.
I imagining that?
I think you're imagining another Let's Play show that played Bloodborne.
I don't think so. I think.
Oh wait, do I have no fucking vials?
Yeah.
Oh my god. God fucking damn it, I should have grinded off camera or something. Just kill me, Rob. Rom is my best waifu because... Guys, it's really hot, so we had the windows open, and now there's an obnoxious moped going by, I guess.
Yeah, it's a perfect day to have the windows open and hear literally everyone who passes by outside.
But anyway, there's Ram, and Rom.
Right.
The vacuous spider.
Right. She's the third sister that nobody likes to talk about.
Exactly. The hottest one of the bunch, obviously. Alright, so who is my kin? Who is my Bloodborne kin?
Yeah.
My persona?
Yeah. Your old blood Sona.
You go first, let me think.
Yeah, think about it.
I'm probably, what's the guy's name who's all... Kos. Oh, some say.
Oh, Mikolash?
I'm Mikolash, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my Bloodborne soda.
Yeah, that checks out.
I'm just a stupid man running around. Oh, what is this? I didn't know I got someone got here.
Younger Madara's twin. Okay, cool.
Maybe if I summon like a bunch of guys, we'll have a good time. Anyways, now I have to go grind for blood vials, but I guess it's a good way
You're
to
gonna
get
make a whole party.
reacclimated
This
here.
is a JRPG now.
Because I have been playing Elden Ring. About 35 hours in as of this recording.
Yeah.
Anyways, who's your Bloodborne son? Who's your kid?
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say Rom the vacuous spider because she's fucking stupid, but she's having fun.
Are you stupid?
Yeah.
Is that your identity?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't realize Hope identified as being fucking stupid.
I feel turned from being told I was a genius as a child to realizing I'm a fucking idiot.
So it's the Beatrice syndrome.
But the other direction. I don't believe I'm a genius. At all. I think the people around me saw I was really good at school.
Were you considered a genius? Like, was that part of your plot arc? I didn't
mean,
know that they.
I was
that
never
people...
like a Mensa certified genius, but I always did really well in school without trying. I was always like, you know.
But did everyone talk you up? You know, is the question.
My family.
Were they like, Hope's a genius? She's gonna be doing all these great things.
I mean, like my parents never like tried to like put pressure on me to like be a fucking, you know, a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
But they were always very, they spoke very highly of how smart I was, to beyond a point where I think it was true, and I was just really good at school.
Maybe it's just the curse of being like smarter than your parents.
I think that's what it is that I love my parents, but book-wise...
definitely smarter than your parents.
They're not very
just
smart.
book-wise. You're downplaying yourself. You're not just book-wise. You are smarter than your parents. Give yourself some credit.
I think they saw that and they were like, oh, she's so smart. And so I was always told that I was so smart and so exceptional.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you're like, nah, I'm not.
See, I had the opposite of living in the shadow of my genius sibling and being downplayed as the idiot, you know? I got to be the Ed of the Ed and Eddie.
But you're like, you're not though. You're not dumb.
Well, because I had to overcompensate by like trying to be extra, you know?
I would say you're not dumb, you just have to.
Yes. That is a reality that's becoming more and more evident the older I become.
I think if you medicated your ADD or ADHD or whatever, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing anything here.
The problem is that in modern medicine, you just diagnose yourself and then you get meds. Like I was thinking about it because I went on this I worked on this short film and I was staying with this dude who also has adult ADHD, and he had just gotten medicated for it. He was like taking Adderall, and it seemed like it was doing really well for him.
Yeah.
It's kind of, Adderall's weird because it's like, it's something you take over a long time, but it seems like it has an immediate effect, you know?
Right.
Like it's a drug that you take and you immediately behave different.
Yeah.
Which is what
Well,
I
that's
think
why
is so
kids in
weird.
college take it.
Yeah. But it's like, usually with like antidepressants and stuff, it's not something that you take and then feel away. It's something that you're taking over a long period of time, and then the change should be like
Right.
unnoticeable.
Well, because it's messing with a completely different kind of chemical balance in your brain.
So like the thing with Adderall that scares me is that because it's a direct drug with immediate effect, it becomes something that can potentially be abused, you know?
Well, if you take it
Like,
at the
you're-
frequency your doctor tells you to take it,
Yeah.
all you have to do is literally not abuse it.
I know.
Like,
but
it's in and out of
it's
your
easier
system
said than
in a
done
certain
if you're
time frame.
if you have an addictive personality, you know, which I have.
You
and then
never,
become dependent on it. I
you
don't know.
never, like, you forget
Just my
doses of
thoughts
your
on it.
medicine all the time.
That's true. But it, you know, it depends on if it becomes something that's like, I need this to live, you know, like coffee, where it's just like, oh, well, I can just take an extra one today because I'm feeling whatever, you know.
Well, I don't think you would do that because you know that's not a good idea, and you're not so impulsive that you would do it.
And then comes the question of like, would it feed into my overall like paranoia of things? I don't know. I'm definitely overthinking it.
Yeah.
I should give it a shot. Because like what the other guy was telling me about it is like he was like, oh yeah, it just kind of helps me stay really
Right.
focused and I feel
Because
more present.
That's the thing. It probably has that addictive quality to people who don't need it because it makes them so like hyper fixated.
Yeah.
But if your brain is already in a place where like when it's doing its intended purpose and like bringing you down to a place where you can focus rather than like pinging between a bunch of thoughts, I don't think it's gonna make you feel like have the same kind of interaction with it, you know?
Yeah. And then there's always the question of will it take away the certain things that I like about having a scatterbrain, which are usually like when I am working, then
Well,
my ADHD is
I
good
have-
for my job.
I have
but
some good news for you.
You could not take it
If
while
you
you're working.
stop taking it, you go back to being ADHD.
Yeah. I don't know, things like that just spook me, man. It's just like anything that alters a mental state is spooky to me.
I mean, you could probably take it as needed.
Yeah.
Like if you
I mean,
know
I should
you've got
definitely
work
try it.
coming up or you need to like focus in and get a bunch of things done.
What would be great is if it would be good for doing shit at home.
Right.
Like that's what I need it most for is like
Because that's when
waking
you
up
struggle to
and focusing.
accomplish things.
Yeah, because I can't get anything done and I keep fucking pressing the wrong button because I'm used to fucking Elden Ring now. God damn it. I keep accidentally blood vialing and I'm so far blood violent. Anywho. But yeah, so that's been on my mind.
Welcome
but
to
like,
Vic and Hope, where we diagnose ourselves with ADHD.
But that guy, like, he used, like, an online service, you know? And so, like, all you have to do is just, like...
Tell
like,
them you have ADD.
Yeah, tell them you have ADHD,
Hey.
and they'll...
Send me some
they'll hook
Adderall.
you
I
up.
have
And I'm like,
ADHD.
that sounds like a better method for me than fucking going to see a therapist, because that shit annoys the shit out of me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I
I'm really
should, maybe I
sketched
shouldn't.
out by like online prescribers.
Yeah.
It makes me, I don't know. I mean,
It's just that my experience going to see a psychologist was no different, you know,
Yeah.
when I did do it. It was literally just like, I went one day to a therapist, and he was like, oh, okay, you want medicine, I'll give you medicine. And then he sent me to a psychiatrist, and I would see this guy, like, every time I needed to change my meds, and I would just sit there and I'd, like, give him a brief description on the couch, he wouldn't pay attention at all, and he'd just give me a new thing, you know?
yeah.
And, like, that's just the level of service that was given. So I have very low expectations for that.
Maybe it's just the old ways being burned into my brain. It just sketches me out to have something prescribed to you online. I'm sure it's probably fine, because like you said, half the time, anyone who gives you medicine, like anyone who prescribes you medicine, probably barely looked at you anyway.
Yeah, they don't give a
probably
shit, you know?
glanced at you when you walked in, read through your chart, and said, all right, take this.
And then I'm like, do I have to sit there and like try to establish a rapport with a therapist? I have to find a guy I like, you know, and all this fucking bullshit. And then it's like, there's always gonna be a giant barrier when you meet someone like that, where it's like, oh, I'm supposed to come in here and like tell you all my personal stories. I have to like the person, you
Yeah,
know?
that's
Like
the problem.
it's weird. It's weird talking to someone. I'm gonna put up a million defensive barriers, and I'm just
Right.
gonna lie like through the first session. Like,
Right.
That's just how it works, you know. You're never gonna go in and be like, you know, you put on your customer service face because you're talking with a stranger.
Well, and you know you're talking to a doctor.
Yeah,
That's a
a
person
doctor.
who has authority over you, so naturally you're going to be on your guard.
Yeah. And like just judging from what I did before, it's like I naturally manipulated the situation to get out of it as quickly as possible, you know?
Right.
And then I got a little lecture about blah 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 blah. And then it's like, yeah, but like what is how long would this take to become constructive? You know, especially when you don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. I mean,
When you're like a natural skeptic, like
when you have a like fiercely introverted person,
yeah.
all the good intentions in the world aren't gonna make that person open up to you in a 10-minute session.
Yeah.
It just isn't. It's not gonna
And when
happen.
it's like, when you're kind of a natural smart ass like I am, or you think you know better than a doctor, like I definitely did when I was in college, then it's just like you're acting in antagonism with the person, you know, and they probably know and you know, and then it's like, what are you doing? Just give me some meds and we'll figure it out. They don't know. There's no way to talking with a therapist they can know what's wrong with your brain. There's no way to know, you know?
Well, yeah. The chemistry of the human brain is not something we have a solid grasp on whatsoever.
I think the best they can do is, like, if you're someone who's having, like, a direct, obvious, immediate problem that you need to, like, work through, you know? Like, that's one thing. But I've always been the type that's like, there's nothing wrong, you know? It's just like, this is just how I am.
Right.
And it's a chicken and the egg conundrum with anxiety and depression and stuff, where it's just like that's kind of where the chemical imbalance subject comes in, because it's like you can't tell if you're unhappy because of things in your life, or if you're misappropriating things in your life with unhappiness because your brain is chemically imbalanced, you know?
Right.
And that's usually really what it is.
Sasho! Sasho! Knock it up!
What is he even barking at?
Nothing. He's probably staring out the window and barking.
Oh, he's probably seeing the birds. He likes to bark at the birds. Is the window open? Can you close the windows in there?
I did open it to get a breeze.
He's gonna keep freaking out.
Very bad.
Dog sitting, boys. What is he doing? He's just out there freaking out. Grinding in this game gets a lot easier when you have a fucking leveled up saw cleaver. Jesus Christ. This is taking forever before now we're already up past 20 blood vials. But we'll do another grind session here just to make sure that we have more blood vials than we need. Hope's creating a Sesho distraction. Don't do the knocky baller. He's gonna sit there and knock it around. Okay. Okay, good. He's got his bone is in the little cage. His bone is in the cage. It is. It's in the cage. I'm sure he'd be interested if you put peanut butter in it. Sorry, guys, you're getting a one-sided conversation about a dog that you can't see. What is happening? Why did the Elgato like blinked in and out? Now it's freaking me out. Oh God. Why do we do this show? What is wrong with me? What have I done? So, multiple issues.
Uh-oh, what happened?
First of all, the Elgato seems to have, like, crashed or something, and there's no display.
Yeah?
Also, the entire time, I've left the computer display capture on, and so the game has not been... Maybe they could see it in the display capture... No. No, they couldn't see it at all. No one could see the game the entire time.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Does it make a difference? Does it even matter?
I mean,
We're 18 minutes
not
in,
really, right?
as long as we acknowledge it
This
now.
is mostly background noise,
Yeah,
right?
it's just a podcast. Let me see if I can fix the Elgato.
So I have provided Sesho with a busy mat covered in a little bit of peanut butter, so that hopefully he will not want to sit on the back of our couch and stare out the window and bark while we're trying to record.
Why did it break? Why? Why? God, why?
I knew there would be something that happened to mitigate our lovely new split mic setup.
Well, guys, I hope you liked that bizarre soft intro for this new setup, because I'm gonna have to stop the recording to figure out what the fuck's going on with the game capture. Why? 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 Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Why? We've done How many years? How many years since the start of Digibro? How many fucking years will it take to figure out? It just regresses. We didn't have these issues when Vic and Hope started.
You're right.
We were playing Splatoon and shit. What is happening? Is it the laptop? Can you just not record on a laptop? Do I need to go back to the desktop computer? Is that the issue? I don't know. Anyways, yay, I get to edit this.
Alright, take your Ritalin and we'll be back.
Alright, everyone. Welcome back to Vic and Hope.
Are we good? We streaming?
We're good. We're good. We're recording. We're gonna cut it into the other part.
Hell yeah.
Just the ineptitude, the sheer ineptitude of this series that's been going on for like 6 years, 7 years since the start of Digibros.
One wonders why we don't gain any traction.
How many fucking years? I mean, it doesn't matter. No one's watching it anyways.
That's true.
Except for the 5 people in Discord. Even the videos will get like 300 views, and I'm like, there's no way 300 people are watching this.
We
there's
love you.
no
We
fucking
appreciate
way
you.
300 people watch this. They never comment. The only commenters are in the Discord, and they just have the discussions there.
Which is fair.
And it's I mean, like, why should anyone listen to us? Like, I don't.
Why should anyone
we're just
listen
another.
to us?
We're a fucking. We're 2 idiots talking on a microphone. Like there is a billion trillion of on the internet now.
Yeah, but listen, there may be millions of shitty podcasts on YouTube, but this one is mine.
I mean, we might be in like the top 5 podcasts on the internet that have like
No
first of
fucking
all
clue what's going on.
top 3 like couples podcast, top 5 podcasts that feature a girl prominently,
Right.
and
It's
in your contributions to the show, you know.
It's your mom's house, and then
There's Sam Cedar, you know. He lets what's her name host all the time.
but they're not a couple.
Well, I'm just saying in terms of like female hosts. Well, I guess there's a lot now because honestly, a lot of guys became girls, and so there's more representation now.
That's fair.
Quite honestly. I'm not saying this as a
There's-
criticism in any way. It's just a fact of the matter.
A couples podcast.
Couples podcasts are rare. I mean, they're definitely not rare, but I mean, good couples. I don't know. Are we a good couples podcast? I don't even know. You know.
Well, you know what? I only thought of one. That makes us number 2.
Yeah. There you go.
So, second best couples
Yeah.
podcast on the internet.
Longest lasting as well. Maybe the most stable. We might be one of the most stable couples on the internet.
That might be
Millennial
true.
couples.
Yeah. Okay. I could take that.
Yeah.
At least until our divorce arc, and then
Exactly.
it'll be really messy.
Until I get like what's a fancy car?
A Tesla.
Nah, fuck Tesla. I would probably
An
I'd get
electric
the Volkswagen one. No, I like that one.
It's probably a nice car.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's
my
like, if
parents
you're
have
gonna
one, it
get a
seems really
nice
nice.
electric car, I feel like that's reasonable. Not
Yeah.
like, it's not like excessive, you know?
Yeah. It's just like, oh,
It's just like
cool.
a really nice electric car.
Yeah. It
It's
looks
like,
like
okay,
a
well, I can
Volkswagen.
understand why you spent that kind of money on that car.
It's only a little
Volkswagens
bit
are really nice.
of like a silly, like, you know, it's got like the single bar front light, and it's got like an extremely huge sunroof, so like it's a little excessive and goofy, but it still looks like a Volkswagen, you know.
Right.
It doesn't look like a space car.
I mean, it's absolutely more money than I would want to spend on a car, but if you're gonna do it, that would be a reasonable choice in my opinion.
Yeah. It's cool. That would be my electric car of choice. Unless they, like, I'm holding out for an electric Honda Civic. And, like,
Oh, I mean,
then you
it's
know,
gotta happen.
or a Hyundai Accent, an electric Hyundai Accent. Because I think those actually exist now.
I was gonna say, Hyundai definitely has electric cars.
'Cause I saw that Hyundai had electric cars, and it's literally, like, just the car, but it's an electric version of the car. And I'm like, that's what the future is. Like, this is where we need to get.
Right. We need to stop doing bougie electric cars and just make the most common car model
Yeah.
electric. That's how normal people are gonna get electric cars.
And
Let's
they
be
could do it.
realistic.
They could do it at any point. They could just throw down the gauntlet and be like, we're doing it. This is the future.
It's like, you do that, you give, like, huge rebates and, like, tax write-offs.
Yeah, which we already
That's
do.
the only way. Well, you need to make it more accessible, because if you tell someone they're getting a tax write-off, like, that's not gonna lure in a lot of people. You know, that's a long-term, like, people need something they can see immediately.
Yeah.
To be incentivized. You know.
What was I thinking recently? Oh yeah, that fucking. We could be at the start of the change because of gas starts becoming so retardedly expensive that no one can fucking drive anymore. You know,
it was $37 to fill up my Civic last week.
Yeah, I'm
which
paying
is
like
fucking
40,
wild.
43 for the stupid Jeep.
Yeah.
And that's on regular, you know?
Right. We don't even, all I ever get is regular. I don't ever
Yeah.
get fancy.
I mean, I know we have, like, fucking bitch-made prices compared to California.
Well, we're in Virginia.
Yeah.
This isn't California.
And it's ridiculous that saving money right now is gatekept behind having a ridiculous amount of money to buy an electric car, you know?
Right.
So it's like, hopefully eventually it starts to, when it becomes like only upper middle class people can even fucking have cars, you're gonna have to start like giving something to the poors. It's fucking ridiculous, the price of everything right now.
It's like, because for like 95% of the country, public transport is not an option.
It's just not viable anywhere. Unless you're in major cities.
Right. That's why I said 95% of the country, unless you're in New York City or certain places in California.
Damn, it's so much easier to fucking blood vial farm at this point in the game. Because I'm so much stronger.
Anyway, we were talking about diagnosing you with ADHD and going to the Watergate 2 and getting you some Ritalin.
Yes, the Watergate 2. going to the local Quickie Mart.
Picking up a couple
Get some Ritalin.
A couple Adderalls for you, some Addies, as the kids say.
And you had a good point about how I'm an adult now, my brain is finished developing, so maybe it won't be as spooky to take some medication.
Right.
But I do be falling, I fall into the same cycles and traps forever.
I know, but that's what I was saying, now that your brain is done developing, it could be that, you will have a different reaction to medicine than you did when you were in college.
Yeah. I'm too old to be fucking
also,
depression all the time.
Your social life and your, home and fiscal life is stable.
Yeah.
So, you have a minimal amount of outside, dynamic stressors,
It's a good advantage of why I'm I know that there's something wrong with my brain because everything is perfect, Everything is great. Life is amazing. There's nothing wrong. So, there's no reason to be depressed and lethargic. It's just, everything's great. So when I am depressed around the house, it's why? Literally, why? All that's making me depressed is that I have no energy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's human nature. Like a frog in boiling water. We adjust to whatever level of life that we're currently in. And so we're going to find, there's going to be slumps no matter how rich you are or how perfect your life is. I mean, for me, it mostly seems like I hit those places when I get bored.
Yeah.
When I don't have anything, new or, engaging going on. And it's nothing's wrong. Work is still good, and the home life is still good, and I have nothing to complain about, but there's just, nothing actively engaging me, and if that goes on for too long, I do notice I get, a little...
Depression?
A little depression.
Are you depression?
Not right now, but
Depressed
a
mode.
little while ago I was kind of feeling that way.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I must be bored.
Yeah. It's understandable. There's just nothing to do with life, and we get caught up in excitement, And it's
May as well die.
Everyone's bored.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Unless you're actively struggling all the time, which some people, their lives are like that. Definitely. I'm not trying to minimize the struggles other people go through. But for us, most of the time things are pretty static.
And stable.
There's not a lot of strife or turmoil.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to get complacent and get bored.
The trick is that most people get bored and become self-destructive, you know? And the key to happiness, I guess, or to having a stable life is that when you get bored, don't become self-destructive and do crazy things. Because that's what fucks with a lot of relationships and a lot of people in general and how they ruin good things, Yeah. Because they get bored of a good thing, and then you just self-sabotage because it's more exciting than what was going on before,
Right.
Definitely something probably both of our parents have done in the past. I know my parents have fucking gotten bored and self-sabotaged many things. Which gets into a more topic, but fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Good life key. It's just like, alright, you're chilling. Like, just chill. Just relax. Don't do anything crazy. You can be bored. It's okay. You'll just live like a normal life for a little bit.
Take a moment and assess and say, okay, why is this happening? Why am I feeling this way? Sometimes it's a genuine, like, chemical thing, and sometimes you're just bored.
Yeah. It's okay to be bored.
And if you're bored, maybe do something fucking constructive with your life.
Exactly.
You know, go to the gym more often. But start reading. I'm looking into going back to school and finishing my bachelor's, so I've been occupying a lot of my time with that when I get bored.
A very constructive way to add stress into your life, you know? Because it's like you get bored because things are too easy. Kind of like a kid in school who's being understimulated, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people who are really, really smart have a lot of a hard time in school because it's just not enough for them, you know? They need more going on, and school's just not on their level. And so it's like you can find those other things by rebelling, you know, and becoming a little psychopath, or you know you could try to challenge yourself. Wow, so like going back to school is a good way to, like, it's gonna be stressful, you know, but that stress is gonna be interesting.
Right.
It's gonna be a mix-up.
That stress adds a little bit extra to your mundane but very stable, happy life.
Because eventually we're gonna be old, and that's the time to, like, really be bored and do nothing and be complacent in that. It's gonna be very interesting seeing how I play differently from playing much of Elden Ring.
Oh no.
It's very interesting already.
I guess since we've been talking about becoming self-destructive in your bored phases, as some people in our lives have done, you want to talk about your mom coming to visit?
Oh, we're you know, we were on a good topic, so
okay.
I didn't want to end it early. But
I
think we're
wasn't
fine.
sure if you had anything else to
Yeah,
add.
I guess there's no more points. Just, you know, Vic's definitely been in a rut. You guys know how it is. I do this all the time.
Yeah, so I was just encouraging you maybe reassess, see if
also,
maybe,
you know, things are picking up. Hopefully I'll level out again, because it goes from extremes. It goes from there was nothing going on for several months to now there's too much going on and it's extremely stressful. So hopefully it levels out to a happy medium once I adjust to the new level of stress going on. But I do have a lot of shit going on in March.
Yep.
And hopefully it'll garner some sort of sense of accomplishment. But I should get on Ritalin so I can do more things in my time off. So it'd be like, what if I wrote a script? Wouldn't that be something, you know? What if I took on a, like, I haven't done anything personally satisfying in a long time, artistically, you know?
It's been a while.
Because, like, it's great to make money, but then, like, when you're making great money doing, like, you know,
not artistically
continental
satisfying
pools
stuff.
videos, it's like it's like you don't really feel like you're accomplishing anything besides making the paycheck, which is fucking great, you know. But then all the goals become monetary goals, you know.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I want to buy these cameras. Why? So I can make more pool videos. Like, where's it all going? I don't know. Maybe it would be good to do a personal goal or learn some personal skills. Like on this last project, it's editing project I've been doing. I've had to learn to do some animation stuff, and it's like so infuriating for me to learn how to do any of this. And I'm like, if I spent more of my free time like learning these things and like had a bunch of like templates and stuff, and like it wouldn't be as hard to approach it when I need to approach it, you know. Or if I had something to help me focus on the work, maybe it would be less infuriating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's always room to continue improving yourself.
Gotta keep improving. Because I was thinking about, like, why do I get so frustrated and find this so tedious when the work is, like, I'm just sitting in front of my computer, like, doing something that a lot of people probably find to be a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah.
Which is just, like, making simple animations in Adobe After Effects. And I know that the reason it's so frustrating is because anytime you do something that's out of your comfort zone that makes you feel stupid, it's going to be frustrating, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I guess the best comparison is like like when you get frustrated trying to ice skate, and I'm all good at it, you know, and
You're naturally good at every athletic undertaking we've ever tried.
Like it bothers you, and it's like, why does it bother you? Because you're frustrated that it's something that you can't do, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's how I feel editing. It's just like, I fucking hate this because I'm not, like, I don't know where everything is, you know? I can't be fluid at it. So it's just like infuriating, especially because I had to learn some new programs recently. Because Adobe Premiere is such a fucking shithole that I had to finally abandon it and switch to a different editing software. So I'm basically learning again, which fucking sucks. Because then you get frustrated because there's just simple things that you used to be able to do really quickly that now take all this fucking time, you know? I guess it's probably akin to like when you have to work on an old machine at your job, you know? And you're like, God, yeah. I could do this so easily on the new equipment that doesn't suck. Yeah. But here I am having to fucking go through all these hoops because I just literally can't use what I'm used to, you know?
Right. Last week I literally went to ODU because we scan their athletes and they give us, we have these fucking dog shit machines that were probably made like probably 1992, like when I was born, and they're awful and ancient, and they have all these little quirks because they don't work like they should anymore because they're fucking old as dirt, and it's just using them just like
Yeah.
I could do this test in 10 minutes on one of my good machines, and I can't do that here.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, why am I so mad, you know? Because, like, I'm getting paid probably between $1,500 to $2,000 to edit an easy fucking video, you know? Stuff that I do all the time.
Right.
Why am I so mad? Like, why is this so annoying? Why is it so frustrating? You gotta take a step back and be like, alright, this is me. Like, this is great work. I should be so happy. This is an easy job. Or when I have to go work for fucking, WHRO, and I'm just like, ugh. This sucks, I hate it. And it's like, but I'm also like making more money than anyone makes working McDonald's, you know, for doing something that's really easy to me. Like, it doesn't, you know, it's so fucking easy. That's where that understimulation comes in, where you're just like, you just feel like you're spending your time wrong, you know, because like, it's always hard to, like when you are capable of making a bunch of money in a day or off of one gig, it becomes harder to appreciate like the little things that add up, you know?
Right.
Because you're like, oh, I could just fucking be working towards doing the one big thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I always fucking forget to log my fucking hours at WHRO. I think I forgot the last day.
Whoops.
God, it's so annoying. I hate having to log into a program and plug in hours. I've probably lost a significant amount of money from not remembering to log my hours at that company. And then it's so embarrassing and awkward to like retroactively try to be like, hey, last month I forgot to
And they were like, we ran that payroll 8 weeks ago.
You have a 2-week window. Because I'm used to like, all right, job done. I'll send you an invoice next week or whenever I think about it, you know? God damn it. Now I'm mad because I definitely forgot to plug the hours for the last day I did. It's probably too late.
Yeah.
I need to check, but it's probably too late. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. I need Ritalin. Not Ritalin, but
all
Adderall.
This to loop back
I need
around
Adderall.
and
I have a problem.
get Victor on some ADHD.
My memory has
medication.
been really fucking bad. It's only been deteriorating.
I really can't believe that when you did go and get counseling and stuff, no one ever thought to try like ADHD medication with you.
I told you they didn't do shit.
Like, they literally were like, oh, you're depressed? Certainly nothing else is compounding this. We're just gonna throw a bunch of antidepressants at you.
Yeah. I mean, I went through a bunch of different things, you know, who knows if they tried me on something like that. Pretty sure it was mostly, like, serotonin.
Yeah, it was like SSRIs and shit.
SSRIs. But then the last thing I was on was Ritalin, you know? Which definitely helped me fucking focus, but it also made me, like, fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was, like, really emotional all the time. Not in, like, a super negative way. It was just, like, intense.
Yeah.
That's where I always talk about watching fucking, what was that stupid show? The Steve Buscemi show. Boardwalk Empire.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
on Ritalin watching Boardwalk Empire, like, this is so good, and then as soon as I stopped taking it, I was like, this is boring.
It made you an extreme empath.
It really did. It made me really empathetic. You could probably go and find the GameCube Chats episodes where I was taking that and fucking, see how strange I was. It's just odd. It's always odd to be, like, self-aware of your personality being different, you know?
Yeah.
Beep.
Understandable.
Yep. Doo-doo-doo. We're doing a Chalice dungeon. We're playing Bloodborne. I was just doing a little Chalice grinding. We're having a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm playing Elden Ring. That's
It's a
been a
nice
good
day
time.
outside.
It is a very pleasant day. We're getting nice wind. Hopefully it's not like blowing into the
Yeah,
microphone.
I hope you
being
guys
like,
aren't, like, hearing...
I'm sure it's fine.
I mean,
I'm
you guys
lost.
are used
I
to
got
such
lost in
top
here.
tier quality recordings here in Thick and Hope, so
Yeah.
it would be a big change of pace.
It'll be a miracle if the recording even still exists by the end of this and gets uploaded onto the internet. I got some tomb mold.
Ooh, yummy.
Cool. I'm a moldy boy.
That's my band name.
Tomb mold?
Yeah.
I don't like the word tomb.
No?
Because it's like a silent B, you know, kind of.
Tomb.
Tomb.
I feel like you kind of hear the B. It's subtle.
Tomb mold.
A
And then you're like, do I
subtle inflection of
pronounce
a
the B or do I let it be silent? I don't know.
Tomb.
Tom. I'm a tomb raider. I found the tomb mold.
But tomb has its own, like, special inflection, I think.
Yeah. Tomb Raider. And I gotta get out of this fucking. I gotta go fight the Chalice guy boss.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know where he
The
is.
guy
I'm trying to
boss?
get out. I gotta get out. Ah. No.
So we've been having a busy couple weeks, yes?
Yeah. My mom came and visited.
Yeah, Allison came and visited us.
Yeah. We got to hear lots of stories.
Yeah.
Got to watch her smoke a lot of weed.
Hell
Hang out
yeah.
with family.
Got to watch everybody smoke weed on our porch, a whole bunch.
Trying to think of my key takeaways. Mostly, like, you know, I've been thinking ever since we watched what's it called? What was that show?
What was it?
Big existential crisis.
Oh,
Midnight
Mass.
Mass.
Yeah.
Midnight Mass has had me on a long train. This is probably the start of all this fucking weird depression shit. This fucking Midnight Mass and just like confronting mortality over and over again. But it's always interesting hanging out with my extended family and thinking about their mortality.
Yeah.
And kind of just what everyone's up to, you know, becoming increasingly more worried about like my parents are getting older, you know. Everyone's getting
Everyone
older.
is, yeah.
These people won't be around forever. When your parents start to become grandparent age and then great grandparent age.
Well, your parents are definitely not great grandparent
Yeah.
age.
They're
Neither
not
are
great
mine.
grandparent age, but like eventually they'll get there. You know, we
Well,
probably
yeah.
have like a 20 more years before they're at the place where, you know, where we're having to take care of them and shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's not it's closer than it is far away. And it is spooky. And so
You ever
it's the
think
kind
about-
of thing that you think about when you're hanging out with the family. What are you thinking about?
You ever think about in the far future who's gonna take care of us?
I mean, that's another thing, but then it like the annoying logical train of that is just like, you have to have children and
Like,
start
no,
a family
you don't
to
have
take
kids
care
so
of
that
you.
someone takes care of you when you're old.
Yeah.
That's evil. That's some evil shit.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
some
it's
diabolical shit to
it's
think.
both diabolic, but also like, I mean, it is kind
It's
of
so like
you know,
Machiavellian.
Like the
It's
thing.
like anything to get what you need, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know in the future you're gonna need this thing, and so you have planted the seed, and it's gonna take you fucking 25 to 30 years to bring it to fruition so that someone can put you in an elderly home when you turn 75. Nah,
I mean, there's definitely
I'm
like
good. I'll do it
there's
myself.
there's the very real fear of the dying alone, which is something that like I definitely have to confront thinking about my own family because I've got a big mixed bag. Like
Yeah.
the big topic of discussion, you know, is my uncle, who is now like, you know, he's only in his fucking 50s, but like he had a stroke, he's deteriorated significantly.
He's quite
and,
young
like,
to be in the position he's in.
and like he's fucking ruined, And he never had kids, you know, he never had, like, a long-lasting significant other. So, like, it's kind of on, like, his siblings now to take care of him because, like, his parents aren't going to take care of him. They suck ass, you know? And so it's like... But when it's on your siblings, like, they don't want to fucking take care of you, you know? Like, what the fuck?
And even then, like, your children have no obligation to take care of you. You don't
That's
know
the other
what
thing.
they're
It's
going
like,
to do. They could
can't-
fuck off and move to fucking Cambodia. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, you can't approach it as like, oh, well, you have to have children, so that's what because like, what if your kids don't want to take care of you? You know,
you are
That's
not
one
guaranteed a fucking like caretaker by
Yeah.
having kids. You're delusional if you think that's the case.
But there's definitely a spooky element to like fucking getting in that state, you know, and
And our country
being
has
alone.
like no fail safes. You know, we have
Yeah.
no support nets for older people
Well,
or
in
people
interesting
with like
ways,
advanced diagnoses.
Like we do, it's just a fucking pain in the ass to get there.
It's not good
Because at this point, like,
because those places are bad places.
yeah, because with my uncle, like, he needs intensive care. He can't afford it. No one can afford to take care of him. My parents, like, could have took him in, but they aren't qualified to take care of someone who's in the state he's in.
Right. He needs like a 24-hour
Yeah.
caretaker.
And so, like, it was a struggle, but, like, they got him into a nursing home now. Like, and no one's gonna have to pay for it, basically.
Right.
Because, like, at a certain point, like, they have to take care of you. You just have to fucking bend over backwards to get them to do what they're required to do, you know?
Right.
I don't know if it's different because he's in California, so it might have been, you know, better rules there. But, like, they were gonna throw him on the street if he didn't have people to support him, you know?
What's the thing is, like, if he was truly alone, if you're that person who is, your body is, like, so decompensated, and mentally you're so decompensated, and then you're expected to fight this system to get the care that you need,
Yeah.
you don't have it in you. You literally can't.
Yeah, he could not.
You don't
do
have
it
the
himself.
capacity for it. Like, it's not possible. So, what, you then just die alone in your house because you can't feed yourself?
Yup.
Like, cool. What a great country.
You just like
Fucking rad.
low key suicide in the most grotesque way possible. You
But
know,
it's not
which is probably
even
what I
like
would have done.
it's not even suicide because
Yeah.
you can't like will yourself to be doing it. It's
Yeah.
not even a choice. It's murder by the state.
Yeah. And you can
And
look
yet
at
you're
it
not
in
allowed
like
to
a,
fucking do humane euthanasia. You can't make the choice to end your own life,
Yeah.
but the government can make the choice to end your life for you via neglect. I love it. It's great. Mwah.
If I were like an alpha brain psycho, you'd be like, well, you know, it's because our system unfairly keeps people alive when, like, in the wild, you know, he would have just gotten eaten by the biggest animal. He
Cool.
wouldn't have been able to keep up with the pack, and they would have ate him.
Hey, then give me a euthanasia pill. Let
Exactly.
me decide to take my own life in a humane manner. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
There's plenty of bridges in California.
Bitch,
All right,
if I'm
these dogs are
80
gonna get annoying outside, so I'm gonna
If I'm
close the window.
80 and I'm like pooping my pants and everyone I love is dead, you think I'm not taking the euthanasia pill, bro?
Yeah.
If I can just go to sleep, there's not even a question. Please. Thank you, Sesha. I agree.
Nah, good input, Sasha.
Thank you, Sesha. You also want this option?
Euthanize me. Woo.
Sesha, come here. Come here, dum dum. Yeah,
Fuck, keep
yeah,
using my
you.
blood
Come here.
vials.
Come over here. There you go. If I give you some scritches, will you chill, or do you need to go potty? Do you need to go?
I mean, he just went outside, right?
It was a couple hours ago now. We took him on a
I
little
guess
walk.
so.
Oh, he's doing the big scritches. This is basically a child simulator, right? This is essentially a child.
Distracting. We were on a good discussion, and now you're petting the dog.
He was barking.
Yeah, he's
the
being a
baby
little
was
spaz.
crying, Victor.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Is he just like ripping into our carpet now?
He's bumping the mic. That's what he's doing.
Sasho.
Oh God, he's got a fucking wild look in his eye.
He's ready to terrorize.
Yeah, definitely.
It's destruction time. Dead,
Yeah.
dead, doggy, dead, destruction.
Indeed. Such a... I feel like the best that we could possibly hope for is like, so, you know, the most likely turn of events is that you will die before me. Right?
I mean, probably. I'll probably have a heart issues or whatever.
That's most likely what's
Yeah.
going to happen. So the best case scenario for me...
Sasho, no. Not the computer. We already have too many technical difficulties for a dog to be by the computer.
You're as bad as Lala. Anyway, best case scenario is that you die, and again, I'm not wishing this or anything.
Yeah.
But then Tyler's wife dies, and me and Tyler can just cohabitate for the rest of our lives.
Wow. Planning to leave me for Tyler, huh?
You'll be dead!
Wow.
And Phoenix will be dead.
Yeah, well, as long as you guys are just, like, living together.
I said cohabitate.
You're not doing anything.
We've been friends
weird.
for fucking
It's weird. He's like your brother.
over 10 years. People move back in with their family when they get old all the time.
True. Yeah.
It would be like moving in
Tyler
with my
does
brother.
seem like the type, like, he's the type of guy who will live to be, like, 95 or 100.
He will, definitely.
I don't think he'd have, like, the heart complications that I will inevitably have.
No. Tyler is just like me.
Yeah.
So it'll be perfect. We'll outlive both of you, and then we'll just, we'll just have our post-spouse lives.
I
I
know I'm being like, I'm hitting that, like, I'm turning 30, like, I'm thinking about mortality shit. And I'm like, I feel like I should be having this when I'm, like, turning 40, or just not at all. Like, I don't think you're the type at all to be like, I'm getting old, and now I have to think about mortality and things.
Oh, I've been thinking about mortality since
like,
a long
I'm
time
always
ago.
thinking, but I'm recontextualizing things, you know?
Yeah.
The older you get, the more context you have, and the more you start to, like, realize, like, okay, I'm at this goalpost, and this is how I'm feeling, and this is how much time feels like has progressed, you know? And sort of like it's a goalpost to evaluate, like, my 20s are ending. What did I do? You know? Which isn't much. And so it's like now the 30s have to really count. Well, I got married and, all these wonderful things.
Wow.
Don't wow me. Don't
much,
you
he
wow
says.
Me. Don't you fucking wow me.
Not much. Well, you wasted
what I
6 easy
fucking
years,
mean.
so that's on you, dog.
I don't think there's a reality where I would have done anything fucking differently, is the other thing. But fucking, I think we're doing good, It's just, like, career-wise.
I mean, you also bought a house.
Yeah, we bought a house. Like, it is wonderful. We're doing wonderful things. It's
You've
like,
been to Japan.
Yeah.
Some people go their whole lives wishing that they can go to
Yeah.
Japan and never make
I
it.
guess it's that we've never been the type to generate stories,
Yeah, that's fair.
We're
That's
naturally
a fair.
more boring, down-to-earth people who tend to learn from other people's stories and don't need to make our own stories, because stories are always negative.
Oftentimes, or at least stories that other people want to hear are usually negative.
I guess it's like,
No one wants to
perspective with,
hear a super positive success story.
like, with the amount, like, the sheer quantity of shit my parents did in their 20s.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
fucking wild.
staggering.
I can't believe it. Like, just listening to the couple stories your mom told while she was here. I was like, you did all this shit by the time that I was, like, figuring out I didn't want to be an LVT and went back to school and had barely done fucking anything.
And it's definitely, like, it helps to
Jesus.
contextualize, your own life problems when you see someone who's, like, been through so much shit, and you're like, I guess, I really can't complain about anything. Like, my life is so fucking good. But it's also very interesting to be like, how did so much happen, And it's through putting yourself in those turbulent situations and making bad decisions, like, at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly aspects of the environment around you that are outside of your control, but also there's a lot of decisions that were made that led to those things. So it's like, well, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other,
And,
we
like,
certainly were put in a more stable
Trixie's outliving that
situation.
life,
Yes.
the life that generates stories. It is like the more irresponsibly you live, the more exciting stories you'll have to tell in the end. And a lot of people, like, that's their life value, is like having those experiences and being alive, And I'm like, it would be nice to find a middle ground between, like, sort of, we hit a point now where it's like we could retire. We're in retirement life,
Speak for yourself?
I mean in terms of, like,
I was like, wait.
like, we figured it out, we figured out very early
we have our
how to
basic
live
needs
happily.
met.
Yeah.
That's what you mean, sure.
And it's like, I don't want exciting, turbulent... Like, that's what I talk about with self-destruction, you know? Where it's like, a lot of people would get to where we are and be like, I'm bored. Terminate, you know? Self-destruct. Like, this is too mundane. I'm gonna explode. And I don't want to do that. I want to go travel the world, you know? It's like, find productive ways to make life more interesting and generate more stories, as opposed to destructive ways to make life more interesting, you know?
Right.
Like, Trixie did the self-destruction arc, where it's like, there was a point where it could be like, this is it. There could be happiness and stability there if you were the person that was looking for that, you know?
Right.
But she's never been the type of person looking for that stability, you know?
It's like we've said on here before. You can value stability or you can value experiences.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to which one you prefer.
We value stability. I don't want you to feel like I'm midlife crisis,
No.
like, I'm bored with our life. That's not what I'm trying to get at
You
here.
became Donald Trump in that moment?
I just like to think about and contextualize
I have
things.
the best stories. I'm gonna destroy my stable life.
Because I also think about, like, I've been thinking a lot about the context of my family and where they all are and how they got
your family
there,
is
you know?
unbelievably interesting. It would make a great case study, I think.
It is. It's really
That's
interesting.
mean. I don't mean that in a
And I
mean
need to
way. I
write
mean
some
it
kind
in
of
like a
fucking movie about
sociology way.
Yeah. And it's great in that sociology way of, like, where there was a point with all of them where they were all in a good spot, you know? At some point. And they all deteriorated in ways, except for my parents who persevered.
Yeah.
But they could very well, like, they were a step away from being exactly where all the other family members are.
They were
you know?
on that knife's edge, most certainly.
They were on the knife's edge. There's a couple people who are kind of stable, but most of the extended family is not.
It's that kind of stability where, like, one little push in the wrong direction, like, and
could
it's
absolutely
over.
ruin everything, you know? And it's like, you know, a lot of my extended family has college degrees, and at one point were married, or at one point had, like, a stable job, and then they got married and had a kid and stopped that job, and then it never recovered, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's a classic story for women that is very unfortunate, is, like, they get into the workplace, they have a degree, they stop because they needed to be a mom, and then they can never recover and come back, because once you lose that momentum, you're fucked, you know?
Exactly.
And then they get to a point where they need that job again because their marriage fucking failed, but they can't go back because, like, they don't have the experience needed, and no one wants to hire an older woman ever.
That,
like,
or you're
they're
only going to get
extremely
hired for,
discriminated
like, shit jobs.
Exactly. So you get to be a waitress again instead
get
of
to work at
whatever
the
you
Christmas
studied
Mouse.
at college for, you know?
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's totally unfair, but it's definitely very true.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, me and my mom went to visit one of my aunts who is now living in a hotel with her autistic son, who we've talked about on here many times. You know, he's my age, maybe like a year older, a year younger. I think he's a year older than me. But they're living together in a hotel. It's about the size of the room we're sitting in right now. Maybe, I mean, big.
I was gonna say, it's gotta be a little bit.
There's like a queen-size bed and then a full-size air mattress stacked next to each other with just a coffee table space between them. And they literally just drink tea and coffee all day and smoke weed and watch TV and play on their phones, you know, and, like, that's life. And, like, they seem happy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they are happier there than they are, like, living with my fucking, the meme, you know, my grandma, because she's miserable to live with. But it's that thought of, like, you know, look at where they are. Like, I don't want to be there, you know? How did they get there? How do I avoid being there, you know?
Yeah.
And it's that avoidance of self-destruction that leads down that path. Because at some point, they lived in a house, you know? They had things, everything was fine. And then there's a path of self-destruction that leads to you're living in a hotel in your 50s, you know?
Right.
And that's a very interesting point to be at. Because now it's like they might be happy for a bit, but, like, when does that tipping point come, you know? When does mom trip and now she lives in a hospital and autistic son is on his own and he can't take care of himself, you know? Like, he's always had mom there to take care of him. Like, it's scary.
It's very fragile.
Because they could be like my uncle who ends up, you know, he was living on his own. He lived in a house that he was, like, renting a room in, you know, from a guy. And, like, he was fine on his own and he was complacent on his own. But then a little thing came and fucked it all. And now he's just ruined, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that could be coming for everyone if you don't build that solid foundation of, like, having something that will, like, you have to set a foundation when you're young of, like, a passive income, you know? Like, that's something that needs to be established of, like, owning a business or owning property or something so that when you're old, you can just make passive income and not have to worry about working as a waitress till you die, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, those are the spooky things.
And of course, like, none of that, like, financial literacy is not taught
Exactly.
in our
And
society at all.
No one plans that far ahead, or, like, life starts happening, and, like, if you didn't establish something to start, then, like, there's no getting back there, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that aunt at this point can't come back. Life has already happened. It passed by, and now you are where you are, you know? There's that point for everyone where you are where you are.
Yeah. There's definitely a point of no return.
Yeah.
Or
And
a point of very
career-wise, like,
difficult return.
people have to face that career-wise all the time. I'm at that point in my career where it's like, this is what I'm doing. I have to keep doing this, you know, because there's no building into another field at this point. Like, I'm built in. I don't know, I'm only 30, so I could change. People change fields in their 30s, but, like,
Yeah.
you're starting fresh again, you know? Like, it would be rough. I was thinking recently about, like, you know, what if I could bring Trixie or Shade into my fold, you know? What if they wanted to be interested in filmmaking and they came into my career path and they just can't at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm too far ahead.
Right.
And they're so far behind that they wouldn't get to my point for 6 years, you know? So it's like they couldn't really jump into that world. And I don't have enough that I could sustain them, you know?
Yeah.
To like to bring them in on my own. Alright, I don't want to keep fighting this guy. Let's go fight Rob. I'm going through all my blood vials. Let me do one more blood vial grind.
I like that dog.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's like a gator dog.
It's a cool boss, but he's gonna be tough. We're gonna be fighting for a while, and Chalice dungeons are infinite, basically. Anyways, yeah. I guess it's all to say it's like, you know, hitting the milestone of 30, I'm thinking about how am I going to spend the next 10 years, you know? Because at this point we have control over that.
Yeah.
In your 20s, you have no control. It's like, oh, I'm going to throw myself in a direction and hope I land somewhere. 30 to 40, it's like I have somewhat of a control over, like, where I think I could go, you know? I could keep down the path of business as usual. But then I'm starting to think about that level of, like, being able to establish a level at which you can retire eventually, you know?
Yeah.
Which is like, what one of my mentors, the guy from DuPont, I don't want to say his name on
Right.
stream.
Yeah.
obviously,
Don't like doxing.
But he's like, he has savings to where he could never work another day in his life if he wanted, you know?
Yeah.
And he got there through, like, stock investments and
Right.
property investments and all these different things while he was working, you know, to get to that point. And establishing, like, being able to teach is another thing. So, like, you know, those are things to start thinking about as you barrel into your 30s. I think you're doing a good thing by trying to go back to school, you know. That's
Yeah.
that's how you go, like, okay, we're good now, you know, everything's great now, but eventually, like, it's gonna start deteriorating, you know.
Right.
That's
Well, my job
the-
is very physical.
yeah,
And,
exactly.
you know, it's not something... repetitive motion injuries are super, super common in my field.
Exactly.
So it's not something that you can do for 40 years until you retire without really risking heavy injury.
Yeah.
So you need to have, you know... Ideally, you have something on the back burner that you can
Yeah.
also do.
Kind of like my thoughts about when I was doing the corporate training videos was, like, I'm getting started doing something that's someone else's retirement job, you know? That was an interesting thing I was thinking about while I was there. Not anymore, but, you know. I don't know where I was going with that thought.
Which job was this?
At DuPont.
Oh yeah,
Where it
doing...
was like some of the guys working there were older guys,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like this is something that they went to do now that they're done with the exciting part of their career, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I've accepted the fact that I'm never going to have the most exciting career, you know? It's just about making do with what is here and establishing sort of that foundation to always be working and relevant and to not be replaced by someone younger and flashier, I guess, in terms of the marketplace of, like,
Ideas.
local companies blasting through different video talent, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and additionally, we have the problem of, like, well, like, of all of our talent leaving
Yes.
to go to big cities.
Which, that's good, because it leaves less of a competition behind, which I think is how I've gotten where I've gotten, you know? Like, I'm at a point in my career now where I'm one of the best people in the areas because people leave.
Well, it's not very charitable to you.
I mean, it's not, but that's how careers work. Like, literally, I've been doing so much camera assistant work because the guy who hires me, his go-to guy moved to New York, you know? And so I became the go-to guy. Like, that's just how it works.
A power vacuum.
Someone has to leave so you can take their place. It's just like working at a corporation, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't become the boss unless the boss retires.
Right, and you have to be in the right place at the right time
Yeah.
to then slip into that position.
And people have to like you.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it's like, thank God I took the right gigs and got the right, you know, approval, and then, like, someone left, and now I'm good, you know? Now I'm, like, permanently good. Seemingly. Let's hope so, you know?
Haha, you
But it's
piece
like,
of wood.
yeah, just
Idiot.
family visiting, it puts me in that place of, like, I want to make sure I don't end up there, you know? Let's
Yeah.
avoid the family history of self-destructive tendencies that make you go through all of these crazy things that my parents went through and that the family is still going through, you know? Like, my parents ended up in a good place. They could be in a better place, you know? They could be in a much better place if my dad had done everything, you know, in a responsible way. Because, like, my dad's still going to have to work forever, you know? He doesn't have the savings where he could retire.
No.
Definitely not. He has no money saved. he doesn't have that kind of a backbone. As a, like, financial backbone.
Right.
Because whatever he saved, he put into the house that was here in Virginia Beach that they sold.
Yeah.
They had to do so much fixing to it. And then it was just like, yeah, he doesn't have much saved in terms of, like, big retirement saving, you know? He took everything out of his 401k working on that house.
Right.
Which is like, yeah, and then when you don't turn a profit on the house, like, that money's just gone.
That sucks.
Yeah. There's many ways you can screw yourself as you get older with your different investments.
Definitely. I mean, an investment is a risk inherently.
Yeah.
No matter what kind that it is a risk of some sort.
Yep. It's like, I'd like to be the old person who's working because they want to and not because they have to, you know? That would be nice. And I want us to definitely have a house that is ours, that we aren't paying any money on,
Yeah.
that we own, because that is such a fucking important thing when you get old, you know?
Definitely.
Having shelter that is not going to be ripped away from you is so fucking important. I'm
Yep.
so glad we own a house now, you know?
Yeah,
God.
because once you get on a fucking fixed income, life
Yeah.
becomes difficult again.
It's like you have to secure those basic things when you're young. Because it just gets harder and harder and harder as time goes by.
Because you know you ain't getting shit out of Social Security.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like 30 to 40 is going to be the most productive years of a person's life in terms of, like, the amount of money you can make and then store, you know?
Yeah.
At least with my career, you can keep going up into your 50s, you know, as, like, a cinematographer if you get really good. If you're not really good, then you'll fizzle out, you know? And you'll just be doing bullshit for the rest of your life. But, you can keep going up. Or at least you could be a business owner and empower younger people. I don't know that train, but, just thoughts about late future. Your family's pretty stable, so they're a good example.
Yeah, well, my uncle, both my uncles have their own businesses. My
Yeah.
dad has his own business. My aunt's probably the least stable because, I mean, she's just a travel agent, you know?
Yeah.
And she just rents that little room.
Yeah. But she's probably got a good amount of money saved up and stuff, you know?
Hopefully.
Didn't blow it on anything ridiculous.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what her financial situation is like. So
Like, my mom was telling me about my uncle who's, screwed over now. And, like, I guess at some point he worked for, like, a hotel and was, like a GM at a hotel or something. Like, had a nice job there for, like, 18 years.
Yeah.
And then, like, got laid off,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking betrayed. And then it just
Betrayed.
spiraled from there. And then he went, like, full-time as an eBay salesperson, because they all got into eBay in the early 2000s. Like my aunt and my uncle both got really super into it and collected Beanie Babies and all this shit.
I think I remember you telling me.
And then like people thought that was gonna be the future, so they went whole ass into that, and it just like never went anywhere.
Shocking.
Guys, remember this with like NFTs and shit. Like back in the day, eBay was the future. And people whole ass got into that shit, just like Uber now,
Yeah.
Because you could find random shit and sell it on eBay because it was new,
It was
like,
very novel.
It was,
and there was no like Amazon wasn't nearly as big, so yeah.
You couldn't find anything anywhere. Anyways, what a gay little adult ramble I've been going on. I'm such a fucking old man now. I'm 29
You're not
and I'm a
even
fucking
approaching
old man.
30. You just turned 29.
I know.
I'm closer to
something
30
about
than you
like
are.
I'm close to 30 and I feel like I'm fucking old and like I need to get my shit together. I feel like I'm not cute anymore, In your 30s is when you stop being the cute person who's trying real hard and you become the person who's supposed to know what they're doing now.
You don't think you know what you're doing?
I don't know. I've been faking it till I'm making it for a while.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, everyone. But it's fun, I don't even know where I'm going on this train of thought. I've just been rambling for a while. I love you.
I love you.
I guess it's the point of Vic and Hope.
Yeah.
What's Hope got going on?
Vic and Hope is all about having a good ramble,
Just letting thoughts pour through your mind.
Simmer that little brain pot.
It's good. It's like the point of therapy, It's like to get the thoughts that have been brewing in your head and speak them out loud. Then you go, this is all stupid. What am I even thinking about? This is gay.
Nice. You're right. It is gay.
Introspection.
Being alive,
fucking
gay.
lame. Super gay. I just love hope, and I want to do happy things. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting Hope's giving me an arm pet. It's like a happy cuddle of the arm.
Speaking of being disappointed, we were supposed to go see Tyler the Creator yesterday. He was coming to Norfolk.
That son of a bitch.
He was gonna be at the
That
Chartway
motherfucker.
Arena, and then like literally, I'm at work like checking the details, and I go on the fucking Facebook page for the event, and they're like,
Shit.
"Oh, canceled." And I was like, "Canceled? What? Like an hour ago, this was fine. What's going on?" And I found out that on Thursday night, there had been a tweet that Tyler had canceled the Norfolk and Pittsburgh shows because the venues were unable to accommodate the event. And I was just like, and the thing is, like, no communication from Chartway, no communication from Ticketmaster, like, no communication from anybody. We would have fucking whole ass shown up to the venue, and no one would have been there, and it would have been like, what's going on?
So fucked, man.
And so it's just like, man, goddamn, fucking, I don't know if it was a staffing issue. I would imagine it is, because probably I'm sure Chartway doesn't want to pay anyone worth a damn right now. So there's probably no staff to run the arena. But like, fucking no communication from anybody. I only found out because the fucking Facebook page that I happened to go visit suddenly said canceled. I'm like, man, I was fucking looking forward to it. It was gonna be a fucking sick show, and now it's just like, man, this is the fucking thing. Like, nothing good can ever come to Norfolk. Just fucking kill me, man.
We get wrecked by everything all the time.
It's not cool.
And Pharrell Williams is like,
Fucking Pharrell.
I'm not gonna do this something at the water festival here because I'm a fucking loser.
So, a little bit of context. Pharrell Williams, famous musician guy, he was born in Virginia Beach. He had this big music festival called Something in the Water down at Virginia Beach the year before the pandemic, so 2018? 2019?
Something
2019.
like that,
It was a big hit, but there was like a lot of hiccups because Virginia Beach had never done anything like that. And so I guess he didn't like the way that it was like handled in Virginia Beach, so he was going to move it to Norfolk.
Well,
Fucking...
he was, remember, it's the police stuff. It had nothing to do with the way it was handled. It was
the way it was handled being the vague way of putting the security issues.
No, it's because his fucking, remember his cousin got shot by a police officer. And he
Well, there were issues even after the concert where people weren't happy with the way it was handled.
But that was his excuse, you know?
Well, I'm telling you what the official reasoning is, as well as the fact that the Virginia Beach Police Department shot his cousin and didn't do anything about it and murdered his cousin. Yes. Police brutality, as always, is the issue. So he was going to have it in Norfolk, which is like, that's awesome. That's where the black community is. So this is where it really should be. Like, if you're really trying to, like, build up a community, Norfolk is the perfect place to have it. It was supposed to be in April. And then yesterday, this fucking New York Times article comes out, and it's just like, oh, actually, Pharrell decided to move it to D.C., so fuck you. Because he didn't like the Virginia Beach Police Department. Like, bitch, Norfolk has nothing to do with the Virginia Beach fucking police department.
Yeah.
And at this point, you move it to D.C., where's the fucking water? Where's the water in D.C.? It's not even something in the water anymore. Fucking coward, dude. He sits here and he talks big shit about how he wants to support the community that he grew up in, and he's gonna bring up Virginia Beach, and he's gonna do all this stuff, and then he dips. He fucking abandons us for D.C.
And he's done it over and over and over again. He always has some new plan to fucking build some shit in Hampton Roads and Virginia Beach, and it never comes through.
It fucking continuously fails, and it's just like,
it was shocking that something in the water happened the first time. You know?
Honestly, I was really surprised that even worked. Oh, hey, what's up, bud? How you doing? But hey, at least we're getting a casino, right?
Yay.
Which will bring fucking senior citizens here. Great, love it. No young people are going to a casino, you know?
God, dude, people go ham for casinos. You don't
Young
know.
people?
All kinds of people go ham for casinos. You just don't know them because you don't fucking sell cars or do normie jobs. Normies love that shit, dude.
I guess.
Once people go like, oh, we don't have to go to Vegas, we can go here, you know?
There's other casinos on the eastern seaboard.
People
like,
save up money, they make trips, but like, you know.
There's fucking Dover Downs.
Yeah, but maybe ours will be doper. Who knows? All I'm saying is it's not a bad idea.
I don't know. It's kind of lame.
Could be good. And maybe the casino, because they're going to have like a venue and shit, maybe it'll be big enough to facilitate a goddamn Tyler the Creator's show. Who knows? Probably not.
Probably not. It's lame.
So fucking annoying.
But on the bright side, we did get some fucking bomb-ass empanadas.
Yeah.
And that was pretty dope.
We got a local empanada guy now.
So Poppy's Pies. If you guys are ever in town, it's in this tiny little club called Thank You, Thank You. And it's just a little stand in the back. And dude's back there fucking slinging some delicious empanadas. We got some yuca fries. Man, shit was...
I only summoned one guy? I thought I could summon both guys.
Dude. Hello, Sesha.
One guy. Where'd he go? Where's the guy?
Yeah, hi. How are you?
The guy's not even helping me.
Oh, boy. Okay, Sesha. You can't be rolling all over the courts,
I'm never gonna beat Rom.
Oh, gosh.
I'm never gonna beat Rob.
And now he's licking feet.
It's too hard.
I
Rom,
want to eat
the
feet.
vacuous spider, is more difficult than all of Elden Ring.
Nice. Ah! He's licking my feet.
Feet.
I want to eat feet.
Guys, I have a lot of thoughts on Elden Ring, but I wanna finish it, you know, before I go.
That's
too
probably
hard on it.
wise.
Yeah, because it's like I had some thoughts early to midway through what I've played so far, and then they were completely subverted by a bunch of amazing shit. So I was like, all right, now let me hold off on this. But I've been very meticulously combing the game and probably spending a lot more time on it than a lot of people will.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have been, like, really exploring the world.
Well, it depends. Because, like, I was talking with Nate yesterday, or 2 days ago, about it.
Right.
And, like, the impression I got from him was, like, he was also about 35 hours through the game, but it seemed like he had kind of jumped around in a way, versus I've been, like, doing fucking everything
I think
on my
you're
first playthrough.
sampling one person, though,
Yeah.
and I've seen lots of people on Twitter who are, like, going way the hell out of their way and finding random shit.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how did you even find this?
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of people who are,
Yeah.
like, really taking their time and combing through the whole world.
Well, yeah. I'm just thinking on a first playthrough basis. 'Cause a lot of people will kind of rush through a first playthrough and then go back through and find stuff, you know? I'm, like, really going in on the first run, you know? I'm definitely not wanting to rush it and try to draw out my time as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because that's a more fun way to approach an open world game. And
Yeah.
so you're not finding all the shit on the second playthrough that you're like, oh, well that changes my entire opinion of the game.
Great.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna meticulously kill every goddamn spider. It's the only way I'm gonna win this.
Yeah.
I got a friend. He's helping.
Well, now that we've talked about disappointments, would you like
Yeah.
to talk about something more positive?
Yeah, get it away from me. I'm gonna keep rambling about life,
Get it away from me.
about how good my life is and how how good everything is.
Well, I can say I was pleasantly surprised. We watched the Cuphead show.
Oh, the Cuphead.
A show that I literally had no expectations for because
I
I
definitely
had
thought it was gonna be a
no
lot worse.
reason to believe that a Cuphead adaptation would need to exist
Yeah.
in the form of a cartoon. I mean, like, I realize obviously it is based on, the golden age of cartoons, but a run and gun game with that aesthetic doesn't necessarily feel like it needs a show.
Yeah. And it felt like it was like the obvious direction that most people would have taken. It would have been like, it's an old cartoon but edgy.
Yeah.
And it didn't go that direction at all, which is fucking amazing.
It's
fuck.
it very much went the wholesome route. I will say, I've talked to a couple people, and one of our good friends, Marcus, I recommended it to him, and he was like, "Oh, really? You enjoyed it?" I watched the first 2 episodes, and I really wasn't into it.
The second episode is like a make or break for if you're gonna enjoy the
If
show.
you're gonna continue to watch, for me,
I think they put it there to get people out.
probably the first 3 episodes for me, I was like, I didn't dislike it, but I
Yeah.
wasn't like really vibing with it yet. And then once you kind of get into that like 4th episode, I feel like it really hits its stride. You start really getting into like the character dynamics with Cuphead and Mugman, which I think are super cute, super adorable. It really gives the characters a lot, like, it makes me much more charmed by the characters.
They're the
by that
Mario.
point.
They're the Mario and Luigi that we've never really gotten. you
Yeah.
know? Like what you want out of that brother relationship.
I think the choice to give them like New Jersey accents was fucking genius.
Yeah.
I love that. I love a good comedic New Jersey accent though, so I might be a little bit biased. I think it's really funny. It's very charming. They take the personality that the game displays and just like turns it up to 11.
Yeah.
It's really, really great.
But then the game to me, like I always had interpreted it as an edgy cartoon kind of aesthetic, because the devil and all this stuff, and there's like
But the
hot
devil
ladies
is in all
sometimes,
of a
and,
lot
like-
of those golden
Yeah,
age cartoons.
But it's like, but they didn't. What I'm saying, they didn't take it in that edgy direction that you would expect from like a throwback cartoon edgy vibe thing. Like, ooh, weren't those cartoons?
I think-
weren't they a little spicy?
I think in this day and age, you're kind of conditioned to expect that a cartoon made for a more adult audience is gonna go the really edgy route. Because you know, Cuphead, it appeals to everybody, but I feel like it obviously has a large adult fan base, and I'm sure the people making it were aware of that, and so you instinctually get that kind of bias of like, okay, they're gonna make this cartoon and it's gonna subvert your expectations by being edgy.
But they didn't at all. It's not an adult cartoon at all in any way.
Whatsoever.
It's literally not an adult cartoon.
It is a kid's cartoon, 100% all the way through. But it's the kind of kids cartoon that you can appreciate as an adult. It's still really, it's funny, it's charming. It's got a lot of.
I don't think most adults will appreciate it.
You don't think so?
No, I really don't.
I guess I don't know.
I think most people are gonna feel like they're watching a cartoon.
I think if you're the kind of person that watches cartoons in your spare time, then you'll definitely enjoy it. Especially because it's got the beautiful watercolor backgrounds. It's got the occasional 3D 3D full sets that they then animate the characters onto, which are super cool. Yeah. Like the graveyard and like the devil's like inner sanctum, where they'll do some like big fucking rotatey shots, or they'll do like the loop running on the graveyard background. Those are super fun, super cool. They did a lot of like really unique aesthetic things that were really well facilitated by what people would expect from the aesthetic of the show. Yeah. I feel like...
But that second fucking episode, man, it's literally like a baby Looney Tunes episode. It's like, that is the most kids show that it ever becomes, you know? And so I really feel like it's like a, all right, get out of here if you're not ready for a kids show, because that's what we're doing.
That's true. I think they're breaking you in and telling you, hey, listen, whatever you expected, if you were expecting like a fucking Rick and Morty, this ain't it. You're not going to get it here, Chief.
We're giving
this is a classic cartoon updated for like a modern sense of humor.
It feels like a modern Ed, Ed and Eddie a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They definitely have an Ed Double D aesthetic going on.
Yeah. It's a great character combination.
Yeah. And it's just classic in the sense that like every episode you feel like you've seen it before, but this is just a new one that's good, you know? It feels like, oh, I saw this on Dexter's Lab back in the day.
But you love it
I
because,
appreciate
like,
it here because it's great writing, you know?
Yeah, I love watching these characters interact with each other and with the world around them. I think they're consistently very funny, and it's really great to look at. I think it's to judge the show for not being like hand animated ones. Like, I think that's really not being fair to it. I think you're being too cruel in a world of modern animation. Because the show still looks really good. It's really solid. The characters are so expressive in a great way.
Because it's not Johnny Test. It's not an ugly Flash animated monstrosity. You know, they definitely put love into it.
They did so much they didn't have to do. You could have done a fucking cash-in, edgy Cuphead cartoon, and people would have watched it, and it would have, you know, flown under the radar, whatever. You probably would have gotten a fair amount of people watching it, and it would have been, you know, forgotten in a week. Whatever, not a problem. Yeah. But they didn't do that, you know? They stuck to what they really saw as the vision for the show, and I think it's really great.
Yeah.
I think if you want to have, like, a nice, positive experience, watch a couple episodes each night, like 3 or 4 episodes a night, gets you that nice little positive, like, you feel the warm and fuzzies, and you're like, yeah, that was real wholesome. Yeah. Brings up the mood. You're like, yeah, that was great. I love it.
It gives you, like, the aesthetic feeling of watching, like, an old Winnie the Pooh cartoon without literally watching an old Winnie the Pooh cartoon that is not entertaining to you now, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's just got, like, the timing that's updated for modern audiences. And,
definitely.
And, like, the joke delivery that feels a little more modern.
For sure, because I don't particularly care for Golden Age cartoons.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, I didn't think they were very funny, and sometimes I thought they were fucking creepy. They were, like, just off-putting. Mm-hmm. Not creepy, but just made me, like, I don't want to watch this. This is not pleasant for me. So this is all of the aesthetic portions of that, but actually in a package that I enjoy.
I'm just really sucking ass with this boss, man. It's gonna take fucking forever.
You're doing great, buddy.
I'm just not even motivated.
Victor's over here being like, man, I can't wait to play Elden Ring on Vic and Hope. And I'm like, yeah, what, in 3 years?
Elden Ring is dramatically easier than Bloodborne. But yeah, it's gonna take a while.
No, I'm like, Hope, I'm like 3/4 of the way through Bloodborne. You're funny.
Yeah.
You're so silly.
Sorry, this is one of the hardest bosses.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
Rom the Vacuous Spider, hardest boss in Bloodborne.
It's fucking hard, because it's got big, annoying magic attacks that are hard to get out of the way of.
Yeah.
And all these fucking spiders.
It do be spiders.
And I don't have, like, all the bolt papers and shit to make it easier, you know, all the random items. I already wasted them. I'm just not getting, like, a solid damage output.
Yeah. Another cartoon that we watched. We watched Young Justice Phantoms.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Which is the first half of the third season.
There wasn't as much to
of
kind of
Young
dig
Justice.
into with it versus the previous one because it followed a bunch of different stories.
Yes.
So, like, by the end, you're kind of like, what was happening with the other stuff?
Well,
I don't
it's because they
remember.
only released the first core.
Yeah.
So you
It was
didn't
fun,
get your
yeah.
full season experience.
Young Justice is always a good time. You
It's-
gotta
it's-
always just
you
admire,
truly,
like,
you
the...
spend time away from Young Justice and then you come back to it and all of a sudden all of the characters are like, there's people appearing who you've never seen before and these people are talking about this character that you don't remember hearing about for a long time and they're referencing stuff that happened a long time ago and you're just like, oh my god, hold on, I need to remember who this is. When did that happen? Oh god,
Its strengths are its weaknesses, for
yeah.
sure. Because, like, the overwhelming strength of Young Justice is the way that it can balance so much shit in so many characters better than any comic book property I've ever seen. They managed to take, like, characters and characters and characters from all these different plot lines and all these different stories and universes, and they join them together in a cohesive, you know, narrative that really considers all the moving pieces of these giant extended universes. But it's also the greatest weakness in that it's so fucking confusing and there's just so much going on all the time and you have to keep track of so many people and their relationships with each other that you're just like, I don't know what's happening.
And then they'll throw
and so many characters look the
packs
same.
and packs of new characters at you and you're like, wait, you didn't introduce this person. Who
Yeah.
are they?
Which
What?
is cool. Like, I love the way they do, like, in media res character introductions where, like, they never go like, this is so-and-so, hello.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
Like, it is
there
good.
in the plot, and it's cool.
But
I
it's
love
also
the way
like,
they do it.
hold up, who is this?
Yeah, but it feels like you're meant to have this greater context of comic book knowledge, which I had for the earlier seasons when they was kind of familiar
Yes.
characters and stuff, but then, like, they start getting into stuff where it's like, I just have no idea.
You start just
And
digging into these people and you're like, who is this?
when they literally have a rainbow coalition of fucking ninjas, and you're just like, who are all these fucking ninjas? Or, like, they introduce someone, then they explain them, like, 3 episodes later, and you're like, okay, well, like, I had no idea who the fuck this was, and I wasn't sure if you were ever gonna get to it.
Yeah.
Or like, oh yeah, that's the guy from season 2 that did this, and blah blah blah.
Or there was a point where, like, we forgot who all of the orange-haired guys were. Like,
Yeah.
which one is he? Which one
Because
is he?
there's-
Which one is that one?
There's like
Because they look
the
all the
Flash,
fucking same.
and then Speedy, who
And then
isn't the Flash.
Clone Speedy, and you're like, ugh.
So many characters.
You all look the same. Please put your costumes on. Oh god.
But it is a brilliant dance of incorporating all these fucking insane characters.
It is
man.
absolutely buck wild. That being said, if you enjoyed the previous seasons of Young Justice, definitely watch it.
It's definitely
great.
the best thing DC's been putting out, like, for a long time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love it. It's great.
Which is disappointing, because it just makes you go, like, can't we just have, like, more of this, but, like, with even better writing, you know? I know you could do better. Maybe do, like, a Justice League show with the same kind of vibe.
We're not doing that.
I guess not.
Come on now. Speaking of DC,
Yeah.
yesterday we went and saw the much-awaited
The Batman.
Not Batman.
Not Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman.
Starring Robert Pattinson.
It was good. It was cool.
Yeah?
I had fun.
Did
I
you,
enjoyed it.
what, out of 5, how many stars?
I would say in terms of, like, Batman movies, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. You know,
Okay.
in terms of, like, what I would expect from Batman and my enjoyment of it as a Batman IP, it was quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
I really like their this interpretation of Batman's character.
Yes.
I think is really fun and goofy and weird and, like, spurgy. It's the millennials Batman, you know?
Yeah,
It
definitely.
felt like, yeah, this is a Batman that makes sense to me and my people.
And my people. Yes. I mean, it's no secret. I definitely appreciate Robert Pattinson. He's a fucking fantastic actor. His range is fucking wild. He does a great job. Anyone who was like, oh, wasn't he Edward Cullen in Twilight? It's like, yeah, have you watched a movie he's been in the last fucking decade? Yeah. He can be Batman. Shut the fuck up.
Better than Twilight. I need to grind more blood vials.
Like,
this is pathetic.
Come on. If you're still trying to pull that argument out of the closet, have you watched The Lighthouse? Have you watched Good Times? Have you watched literally fucking any movie in the last decade? Yeah, shut the fuck up. He does great. He does a fantastic job. It's really, really great.
It was really fun.
He's like the Crow, but Batman, but also like
Very
if he
much,
had Asperger.
Very much leaned into the Crow vibes, but he's a more fun character than the Crow. The Asperger's element was amazing. They did a great job with the Riddler and having him basically be a school shooter.
It's Elliot. What if Elliot Rogers was a Batman villain?
It was a lot of fun there. You know, Catwoman stuff, I'm gonna take it or leave it. You know, she was fine.
I mean, she's really hot.
I mean, compared to like we tried to rewatch the Tim Burton Batman movie,
the one
Penguin
with
and stuff. Like,
that
movie was fucking boring as shit, man.
Dude.
We had to quit. Like,
that movie is 2.5 hours
asleep.
long, and it feels like it's 2.5 hours long.
It starts off really, really good and interesting, and then it's just like, oh god, this is so boring. I couldn't give half of a fuck about what's happening in this stupid movie.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
It was disappointing because I was really hoping that it would be fun.
Yeah.
And it was not fun.
And starting off, it was so refreshing to go back to that kind of like goofy, silly aesthetics. And I feel like this new Batman movie hit a nice middle ground between like the seriousness of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies and like the goofiness of the Tim Burton Batman movies.
Yeah. And I mean, I remember why people loved the Christopher Nolan movies so much, because it was like the first time superheroes were taken like real seriously. So I remember why that got big. But at this point,
now we're
so
beyond
fatigued
that, you know?
on that, you know?
Like, that was the first time superheroes could be serious, but then it ruined it by overcorrecting.
Now every
into, like,
superhero needs to be serious. Yeah, this was a great middle ground between camp and serious. Robert Pattinson does a fucking fantastic job. I love it because it's a Bruce Wayne where like he isn't like a charming socialite. He's like this weird reclusive fucking freak. And he, like, peeps on Catwoman more than he needs to, like some sort of fucking deviant weirdo.
He's, like, kind of a little,
and you're like
deranged.
oh, it's like that, huh? Okay.
It's great because they're putting you in the place of, like, this is him 2 years into being Batman. It's like he's established himself a bit, but he's still figuring out, like, the technology of it. He's figuring out, like, work-life balance, you know? Because that's Batman's classic character thing, is that he's obsessed with being Batman and he's losing himself in it, you know?
Yeah.
And this has him confronting, like, that he's lost himself in it for 2 years and he's just losing his mind and he kind of has to take back to, like, oh, now my family's being attacked and, like, I care about them. Oh, yeah, like, I was kind of taking this for granted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of, like, finding his humanity in being Batman and, like, figuring out how to do it not just for vengeance, you know, because he's so obsessed with the vengeance. And like he kind of gets it, like he kind of gets to get rid of the dude that killed his parents in this one, you know. So it's like he can kind of move past.
So he gets
vengeance.
He gets to complete that arc and move along.
I like that they give you a Batman that needs character development, you know.
Right, he's not just some perfect demigod.
I feel like I'm doing less damage than I was like.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
I feel like I was ripping these guys to shreds when I was grinding before.
Yeah.
What did I do?
But it's great because this is not like one of those superhero movies where dude is fucking jacked as hell.
Yes.
Just like insane, not humanly possible levels of fucking shredded. He's just like normal dude ripped. Like if you went out and did this every night, yeah, you'd probably be that jacked. And
it's like, yeah, he probably worked out a good amount to become, you know, he's a badass, he could kick ass, so like obviously he would be physically fit, but he's not like roid rage fucking jacked as shit, which is something that Robert Pattinson had talked about going into it, was that he wasn't going to do any extra workouts to be Batman.
Yeah.
And people had criticized it. Oh, my weapon's broken.
Oh. Well,
I didn't even know that was a thing. Maybe that's why I'm having so much fucking trouble with Raw.
Maybe. That would probably do it.
When did it break?
I don't know.
Maybe it was against the dog boss. Maybe he has a debuff that breaks your weapons. Oh my god, I'm so bad at Bloodborne.
Well.
What the fuck is happening?
Welcome to Big and Hope Play Bloodborne.
I hope that's all it was. That would be nice. Jesus fucking Christ, I got a broken saw cleaver. Oh my god.
And Robert Pattinson's that perfect like line between like being a handsome dude, but also being like a weird looking dude.
Yeah,
his face is
he
a
looks
little weird.
interesting.
He's
He
got a
doesn't,
like very unique facial structure
Yeah.
to where it's not like you're not like traditionally hot. You're not what most people. Well, that's not true. Lots of girls find him very attractive, but he's not like the traditional kind of like hot boy you find in a superhero movie.
He's not a hunk. He's an emo boy, you know?
He's very much, especially in this movie, he is an emo boy.
They definitely super lead into that aesthetic.
He's got
which
the
is
fucking
super
long
fun.
hair, the long little greasy hair.
Yeah. It's always in front of his eyes.
Man. And I mean, on a personal level, I already am very biased towards him because I know like his basic personality is very like he's a weirdo. He is a weirdo in real life as well, and it's like very refreshing and charming. And there's an interview he did for the Batman with the girl who plays Catwoman, Chloe Kravitz, and he spends like half the interview talking about how he grew up playing Final Fantasy VII, and he had a crush on Tifa and Aerith, and he
What the
couldn't
fuck?
choose. So he's
Oh
talking
my
about like
God.
how he was in love with both Tifa and Aerith,
I
and
had
she's
no
looking
idea.
at him like, "Shut the fuck up!" the whole time. It's so
Jesus
good. It just makes
Christ.
me love him more.
I did not know this.
He's so great. He's so fucking excellent. I love Robert Pattinson. He's great. Anyone who still thinks he's the Twilight guy doesn't know what the fuck is up.
Definitely. Let me do this other chalice ritual.
I would say the only point, the strongest points against the movie is that it is 3 hours long and it does not need to be 3 hours
Yeah.
long. But I'm the kind of person that if a movie overstays its welcome, it wears on me fairly quickly. So that bugs me probably more than it does most people. So, I mean, on that regard, I would say probably like a 4 out of 5, just because it's
It
too
seemed
long.
like you started more negative about it, and then I pulled you back out of the negative.
I still think a lot of the Catwoman stuff could probably, because it's too long, cut a lot of the
Yeah.
Catwoman stuff. Because that is definitely the weakest part.
You just hate women.
Yes, I just hate
You
women.
just don't want to see a woman on the
As
screen.
everyone on this channel knows, after I said Catwoman was hot, I just hate women, yeah. That's
She's
what it
hot,
is.
You know, she's got that like weird movie body where like in real life.
I mean,
you'd be like,
yeah,
this girl's
in
so
real life,
fucking
obviously
skinny,
she
what
would
the
be
fuck?
unbelievably thin.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh god, you're
But that's
skeletal.
That's movies,
Yeah.
so,
That's movies.
you know. You gotta realize it ain't real life. Oh, insightful, thank you. You're so talented. I love you.
Yeah, Batman, cool.
Batman.
Cool Batman, like Batman. Good iteration of Batman.
Yeah.
Fun time. Good fun time. I wish they could fix the DC universe and make them all good, but they won't do that because they're already got contracts with all these fucking people, and they need more Aquaman movie. We need more Wonder Woman movie. Everyone likes our hot superhero actors.
Woo.
Yay! It's like, just start over. Just please start over. Get whoever wrote this Batman shit to do all of them. Just let us begin again. Sunk cost fallacy, you know?
Yeah. I enjoyed how much this was like truly a mystery movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like there was detective, there was sleuthing going on, and you're like,
Sleuthing.
neat. I like that. I haven't seen some sleuthing in a while.
Yeah.
That's fun.
His crime scenes were always funny with the way the police are just like, why are we letting
Why is
him
he here?
run around? And he's just like awkwardly
And
standing
he just sits
around.
there and looks at them like,
And it really lets it sink in, like how
awkward
odd
this
it
is.
and like how like he's a guy in a bat suit, and it wasn't like in the corny way of like, what's this guy doing in a bat suit? It was just like showing you the social awkwardness of the
like,
fact that he's wearing this suit around other people and how they like don't know what the fuck is going on.
yeah.
I love his bat suit too. How it felt like the more traditional bat cowl kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. It was a great suit. Very, very cool.
Yeah,
very
it had
good.
like the awkward stiffness.
It was
of,
very
the classic
stiff and
stuff.
bulky, which is funny.
And he had that very classic tortured Batman look inside of it.
Tortured Batman.
I need 2 ritual bloods. Trying to conduct the chalice ritual. And go back into chalice dungeon.
Wow.
Alright, let's fight Rom again now that this weapon's healed.
Nice.
Not that I'm gonna be able to beat it.
No, you can do it. I believe in you.
No, I can't do it.
You can do
I
it.
can't do it. I
You
can't
can
do it. I can't beat Rob.
No.
That's it. That's it for freaking Hope.
This is the end of the
This is it.
playthrough.
Let's just go right to Elden Ring. It's easier.
Oh, Jesus. We also we watched another movie.
What do we watch?
We watched Titan.
Oh yeah.
Or
That was an experience.
Titan, as some people are saying. I don't know. It's fucking French, dude.
Titan.
Titan. Same by the same director who did Raw a couple years ago. I don't know if anyone else watched that, about a vet student who realizes that she wants to eat raw meat. It's about, you know, generational trauma and shit, like all horror movies are now.
I did like this movie a lot more than that one. I didn't
Me
like
too.
that movie as much at all. It was very pretentious.
Yeah. Though, you know, this movie also has some stuff where you're like, huh, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But
It's a weird movie.
It
for
is.
Sure.
It's a weird movie.
It's definitely a French artsy movie.
Yeah, the French have very interesting parent-child relationships. If what is portrayed in this movie is true to life,
The French need to figure their shit out.
I'm like, I don't know, dog.
They're very kissy.
They're very
touchy, kissy.
very touchy-feely, very smooch your
I mean, that's
daughter,
definitely just
your
a
adopted
European
daughter kind of thing. Like, all right,
Very European.
maybe it's just a cultural perception.
Yeah, but they do funny gay dancing.
They
It's
do a
super
lot of
funny
funny gay dancing,
and
which
very
is
gay.
fun, which is a good time.
Nothing like hyper masculine men doing dainty little dances. It's very YMCA.
So, for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Titan is a movie about a lady who is in a car accident when she's a child. There's a lot of damage to her head, and so they put a metal plate in her brain. Not in her brain, but to protect her brain. In her skull, to protect her brain. And after that, she has this, like, fixation on metal and cars and machinery, and she ends up working as a dancer in like a car club,
Yeah,
a
something like
sexy
that.
car club
Sexy
where
car
you dance
club.
on the cars,
Very European.
which leads to something that I think could be perceived either literally or as a metaphor, in which either she fucks a car or she is sexually assaulted, and then represses the memory by imagining that she fucked a car. Either way, she gets pregnant, and she does some bad things.
I mean, I think in the context of the movie, it literally happens, but it is a metaphor for something that it did not literally happen. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Like
'cause-
the movie moves forward with.
Well,
like,
the movie obviously literally shows you that she fucks the car. However,
In the
in the
context
scene
of the
immediately
movie, it is
before
something that
that,
really
she is approached by a gentleman who
But they're not
is
doing an angle where it's like
very sexually aggressive.
there's no like, was it real? You know?
Oh,
like,
no.
no.
It's all shown
in the
very
context
straight.
of the movie, it is literally happening.
However,
but it is a metaphor.
It
for
is a
something
metaphor
else.
for probably SA,
Yes.
and you know the trauma of that, and
You
know
don't have to say essay. We're not getting monetized.
Essay.
What the fuck is this?
it's Spanish.
Yeah, essay. It's a metaphor for writing essays.
It's a metaphor for writing essays, yes. But she does some bad things. She helps people commit not alive, and she's on the run. And in turn, she decides that she is going to masquerade as this chief of the fire department's missing son. And they develop a relationship over time, and there's some stuff that happens. There's
Yeah.
things and stuff. I don't want to spoil it for y'all if you're interested. It's on Hulu for free. I mean, if you pay for Hulu, then it's not free, but, you know, it's on Hulu. So if you're interested in artsy French movies where a lady fucks a car, but also maybe it's a metaphor for being sexually assaulted.
It's gross. It's gonna make you feel gross.
It's
and
very
sad.
gross.
I think that was what turned me off so much about it, was that it's so gross, and
It is
it's
super
just so
gross.
oppressively gross in ways that I hate.
It is very
like
gross.
Lots of, if you're
It makes
if
you
you're
cringe.
freaked out by people who are constantly scratching themselves, like that's a big thing for me. Where like I hate this. I fucking hate watching people vigorously scratch themselves in movies. It drives me insane.
Multiple times you watch an old man give himself testosterone shots on his naked ass.
Yeah. Mostly scratching. It just drives me fucking nuts. I hate the scratching.
There's a lot of something akin to body horror. So I mean, yeah, I did a lot of wincing during this movie.
Yes.
I was like, ugh, 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 ugh. So hey, that's fine. But yeah, interesting movie. Interesting. It gives you some stuff to think about. If that sounds like your bag, go for it. I'm not gonna say I was like, man, I loved it, but I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
It's not a movie that I think is meant to be loved. It's just
Probably
a movie that's
not.
meant to be experienced.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Say if you're having fun, you're not watching it right. This is not, I don't think
Yeah,
that's the
this is not a
intention.
movie that wants you to have fun watching it. That's very true.
Eh.
Oh man, I watched The Exorcist for the first time last week while you were at work.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
Don't think so.
Oh.
Bing bong.
It's fine. I mean, obviously, it's a movie that came out in, like, what, the 70s?
Yeah.
So, it
So it's
it
like
hits
one
a
of the
little
greatest movies
different
of all
today.
time, bro.
You know, it's like, yeah, alright, whatever.
God, I hate fighting Rom so fucking much. It's so annoying. It's just not fun. It's just not a fun boss.
Poor Rom.
It's like, oh, there's some fucking spiders.
There's so many fucking spiders. I mean, Rom is super gross.
Yeah.
It's full of fucking holes. Just shooting shit out of the holes. Blah.
That's a holy bitch.
Yeah, she is. It's pretty gross. I mean, no offense, but like,
She's kawaii.
she's also very gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a gross kawaii.
Yeah, like that. Oh man. And then that week where you were out of town shooting, what were you shooting?
The short film.
The short film? Yeah.
Oh my
See,
fucking god. God fucking damn it. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. Ah!
Nice.
I hate this fucking boss. It's so annoying. I love you.
I love you.
You're cute.
I love you. I love you. Thank you.
I want the sword. Can I get the sword? Where's the sword? Where do I find it? I want the big sword. Will that make me happy?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Will anything truly make you happy?
No. Guess I'm gonna kill all the spiders. Oh, I'm out of fucking blood vials again. This is literally a nightmare. This is the Bloodborne
We're
nightmare.
right back
in the
where we
Hunter's Dream.
started.
I gotta pee. I'm gonna go pee. Talk about a movie or something. I don't know.
Oh.
I love you.
I love you. Bye. Victor was gone for a week, and so I did the only thing that a reasonable human being would do. And I watched all of Ari Furetta by myself at home, alone. And, I mean, it's kind of disappointing, because, like, honestly, the first couple episodes were, like, kind of really fun and good in that stupid schlocky way, where you're just kind of like, huh, this is really dumb, but, like, Hajime is so fucking, curmudgeonly that you kind of dig it, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, this is kind of fun, alright, cool. And then, the more women he accrues in his harem, the more you're like, oh. And then I stopped having fun. And then I was just watching Ari Furetta because I was already 8 episodes deep, and I was just gonna finish the 12 episodes that I had already resigned myself to watching. And by the end, I was not having fun anymore. So like the first 2 to 3 episodes, I had fun, and then I progressively had less and less fun as I finished the show. Overall, I would say not worth it. Don't watch it.
I'm back.
Yay! It's Victor.
I'm losing my mind. We're playing Bloodborne.
Oh, you're playing Bloodborne.
God. What are we talking about? What's going on?
What?
I need to get some blood chunks. I need a
Blood
starter
chunks.
Weapon. Stamina. HP. Try a different one of these maybe. Do 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 do. What's up? What's going on?
I was just looking at you.
What's the topic? We got more topics, or is this it?
You have exhausted all my topics. Have you brought anything to contribute to
I spent
the
like
dinner?
48 minutes having an existential crisis. Like, that was
I
my
was
topic.
contributing to that as well, and then I brought multiple topics on top of that.
Yeah. Well, la-dee-da. Let's go fight that dog again. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah? Okay.
Oh, wait. No, I don't want to remove the chalice.
You know that all I do is watch movies.
I can't beat Rob. I just need to beat Rob. This is a nightmare. Oh, God. What's happening? What is this life?
You're doing great, bud.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Elden Ring yet, I guess. It's been very neat. Doot 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 doot. Beep 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 beep. I don't know. It's been like 2 hours. This is a
I
fine
think
episode
it's been a fair amount of time.
I mean, I could literally see how long it's been. So.
It is 2 hours.
It's been about 2 hours.
We
Let's
had
summon Professor Oak. It looks like what that guy's name was.
Yeah.
He could help us beat the boss.
Oh, Victor, who are you choosing as your starter for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
I mean, probably Grass Cat. I mean, everyone's gonna pick Grass Cat.
You
but
gonna
like,
get Weed Cat?
Yeah, it's just gonna end up being the best grass Pokemon, you know. No, there's never enough fire Pokemon, so it's always good to choose a fire starter. I mean, the duck guy sucks. I don't like him. I mean, he's funny, but like, you know, he's just gonna get worse looking with his evolutions. I mean, the other ones will too, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
The-
I will be...
The Gator guy's probably gonna be the best, like in terms of
Yeah.
final evolutions.
Definitely.
He's gonna be a big doofy boy, and he's gonna be cool.
He's gonna be real silly, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna be real silly.
But, I will be shocked if, the Weed Cat remains on 4 legs for its final
Oh,
evolution.
definitely not.
It's gonna grow tits, for sure.
Something like that, you
it's
know.
gonna have
it's gonna get
titties or
ruined.
like titty adjacent appendages.
I'm very curious though. It could be neat. I hope it's got like an interesting type matchup, you know. I don't know what they're going for. I'm excited. I'm excited for a new game. I'm glad they ripped the Band-Aid immediately and started just showing you all the same issues that Arceus has in terms of like frame rates and pop-ins and all this shit. It's like, guys, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Just hang in there. They're not gonna change a fucking thing, and I'm fine with it, you know. I know what to expect. I don't care. I just want to play Pokemon. It's like, all right, you guys know what to expect. Don't complain this time. Don't fucking bitch and moan this time about all the graphical shit, because you know it's gonna be exactly the same. They put it right there in front of you. Don't be a little bitch about it. Man, I gotta hit his knees.
Ooh.
Gotta hit them knees.
Gotta kneecap that boy.
Oh, Jesus. I
Oh,
killed
well,
Professor
he got
Oak.
absolutely wrecked.
Oh God, I don't know if I can win with that Professor Oak.
Get fucking Shrek'd, my guy. He died.
Ah, fuck. God damn it. You immediately killed me. Watchdog of the Old Lords. Alright, I guess that's it. That's all we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else, dog.
Not much to say about the Pokemon drop besides, like, I hope it's... I don't know. I have a feeling it's not going to be like Arceus, and it'll be like Sword and Shield, where it just has some open areas, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of looked like it could be going in that direction. But who knows?
Ooh.
Nobody knows.
Mysterious.
Does it sound good when I'm up on the mic now? Does it sound good now? No, probably not. Probably sounds terrible. All right, bye.
Bye. Did you knock my phone over? Why did you do that?